anticipation level like as you get ready to play a different team?
Yeah, super excited. Guys are. I think the excitement is just as much about playing somebody else as it is getting to play in front of the fans. You know, I anticipate us, as long as we get this rain out of here, I anticipate us having a great crowd. Night before Alabama, a lot of new players, a lot of great things for people to see and showcase. And it's free. We'll have some concessions going, but pretty much be open seating. And so I think our guys are super excited for that. We've opened up a lot of our inter squads this fall, and I think one of them we had 400 or 500 people here. So for some of our Ivy League transfers, that's some of the biggest crowds they've ever played in front of. So they're excited to be a part of the 12th man.
Some of those newcomers, whether they be transfers or freshmen, what have you seen from them in the inter squads and in practice so far this fall?
You know, just like any other player, you know, some good, some things they have to get better at. We've only played about 5 games or so. The one thing about these fall games is they're great, but they kind of mess up your rotation because you're trying to stack guys on a certain game, which affects them being able to come back and maybe pitch again on a different day of the week. So we haven't played as many games as we will moving forward. But I've seen a lot of great things out of the freshmen, out of the transfers. I've seen them get better. I mean, a guy like Camarillo came in here. His glove has always been his carrying tool, even though he hit for a high average at Cal State Northridge. He came in with some things that he needed to work on, and his last couple of days have been very positive. Jackson Appel's made some leaps and bounds in terms of the transfer guys. Teddy Burton is very talented bat, going to give us a lot of right-handed power. But frankly, the most impressive guys have been a group of freshmen, especially from a position player standpoint, just on pure talent, right? So we don't need to go crazy. Just on pure talent, how hard they hit the ball, how fast they run, stuff like that. This might be as talented of a freshman group of position players that I've ever had. That means nothing in October. We'll have to wait and see, and Friday night will show us some more. You know, when you're having to do that out in front of a crowd against, you know, under the lights against another team, and then it'll be even more telling when we get into conference play in the real games. But just on what we've seen to this point, this is a super talented group of freshman pitchers too, but the freshman position players have been especially impressive.
So who are some of those freshmen, whether they be position players or pitchers, that have really shined?
Yeah, I think on the position player side, Grahovic has been amazing. Jet Johnston really swing the bat, trying to find a good position for him to kind of settle in at. Jack Bell, Caden Sorrell, even Carl Schmidt has shown some signs. But those first 4 guys, Sorrell, Johnston, Grahovic, and Bell have been very, very high end players.
You kind of led into it, but you know, playing in front of the crowd for these games, how much does that help get a sense of how guys are playing at the moment when you do to spring compared to even if it was a different team, you know, if it was just an empty stadium?
Yeah, it definitely helps. You know, for again guys who haven't been in that environment before, we call it expensive versus inexpensive experience. So inexpensive is it doesn't cost you a win or a loss, right? So if things go sideways, or we're still going to be juggling things. I'm going to hit 10 guys in a lineup. Jet Johnston is just now learning how to play the outfield. We're going to put him out there, you know. Hope he doesn't zoo a ball, but he might because it's a new position. We're moving guys around different positions, but it definitely increases the heart rate, and therefore they have to figure out how to slow that down. And we work on that every day. That's part of our mental skills training, but you have to go put it in practice. And then when we get to the season, at least they've somewhat been there before. And then a new thing we've added this year that we haven't done since I've been the coach here is we're playing one of those fall games on the road. And so when we go down to U of H, that's the Friday night before they play Texas in a Big 12 football game. I know it's going to be a big recruiting weekend for them. Coach Whitting told me they're actually going to charge at the gate. I told him he owes us some guarantee for that. But no, that should be a great crowd, and going on the road, that'll be even a better inexpensive experience for our guys to share.
Coach, when you're even
Yeah, well, I think there's a group of pitchers. For example, Cortez and Wansing have been throwing. I mean, they threw all summer, not in games, but they went to a place in Charlotte to do some special training. So they've been throwing a lot, all summer. So this may be the last time they pitch, depending on how it goes. Maybe one more time, and then we're going to shut them down. There's some other guys that we want to get out in front of the crowds. We're only gonna play 14 innings roughly. We'd like to have everybody have their clean inning. If we have to roll what they call roll an inning, we will, and we'll give Houston Christian the opportunity to do the same. But there's a group of pitchers that we want to throw in this game, and then there'll be a whole other set of pitchers that we want to throw, assuming everybody stays healthy in the second game.
What do you like about having fall ball? And it's not the spring, but
Yeah.
what do you take away from it, and what are you hoping to learn?
Well, it's my favorite time of year, because you're putting together a team. You get to coach baseball every day without the pressure or the privilege, whatever you want to call it, of real baseball and the wins and losses. So there's a relaxing aspect to it. It's my favorite time of the year. Normally the weather's really good. You get great college football. You have playoff baseball, and I get to do what I love the most, which is work with young men, help them get better, and put together a team. When we get to the spring, then it's real, and it's way more about winning and losing. We're still developing players, but you have the wins and losses. As I say, there's a big square thing in left field. It's called a scoreboard, and right now the scoreboard doesn't matter a ton, but when we get to the spring, that's what means the most.
Anything playoff baseball? I don't want to get you in trouble. I know that both Texas teams are in it, but anything I don't want to say rooting interest for this postseason, but you're excited to watch?
I actually don't watch much Major League Baseball. I check out former players that I've coached or been around, whether it be at different schools or whether it be Team USA. Certainly, I'd root for both Texas teams. It would be awesome to have the World Series close, whether it be in Arlington or Houston. I coached Alex Bregman on the USA team, and he's turned into a friend, and so I would root for Alex. I won't say if I'm rooting for one team or the other, but it'd be awesome to have one of them in it. So maybe I could slip off and catch a World Series game. All good.